Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending this important announcement today. I'm Mike Cooper with City Planning and Building Services. Joining me today, Darren Ketchum with Community Development and Mayor Huther. What we wanted to do today was give you an update as far as where we're at with our Railyard redevelopment project timeline. Once the exciting announcement happened that the city was able to acquire the property within the downtown, we talked about the next step in the process was to go through a competitive selection to bring in an outside expert that really could help us visualize ideas for where that 10 acres was going to be moving towards in terms of development activity, development ideas, and a timeline for soliciting redevelopment proposals. Earlier this summer, we announced that we had gone through that selection process and we had chosen a firm based out of Omaha, Nebraska called RDG. They have extensive experience in urban design projects throughout the Midwest. They have worked with other Railyard redevelopment projects in other communities, such as Springfield, Illinois. They've done a lot of work in Nebraska, in Iowa, and even in Sioux Falls prior to this particular project. So we're really pleased with the selection, and today we wanted to announce to you the timeline that they will be going through with us to begin this redevelopment phase. So starting next week, we'll have them coming in for 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Tuesday, they're going to start meeting with city staff, walking the site, talking to different city staff about background information on the site itself, the area of downtown. We've given them a lot of background information, such as the Downtown 2025 plan, the environmental assessment that we went through for the Railyard site, the 10 acres, other information that would be applicable to helping them put together their concept plan. We're also going to be scheduling a series of stakeholder meetings because we think it's really important that we get as much input from the community as we can. We've been talking about this Railyard redevelopment for many, many years, but we only have one chance to do it the right way, as Mayor Huther has said to us in the past. And so with RDG's assistance, we're going to be talking to not only city representatives, but business representatives, property owners in the downtown area, other interested property owners, developers, nonprofit organizations. We want to reach out to as many ideas, as many thoughts as we can put together to come up with the best concept plan possible that will help us identify and visualize how we're going to move forward with redevelopment. On Wednesday of next week, the design team will spend most of the day putting together some of their preliminary thoughts and ideas. And then at the end of the day, we'll have an open house for the public at the downtown library. And that open house is going to be scheduled from 5 to 7 p.m. on August 31st. So that will be the first chance for the public to come in and see at least some of our preliminary ideas that have been looked at, have been identified, that RDG is going to visually show us for the public to review. Then the third day that they'll be here, which would be September 1st, again, they'll continue to revise, refine their ideas based on the public open house. So that's why we're hoping that we'll get as much attendance, as much participation as we can for people to comment on where we're at and what our thoughts are with this redevelopment idea. On the 1st of September, again, they'll spend the day refining that design concepts, putting together what they believe is a realistic phasing plan so that we can understand if we're going to be doing multiple RFPs, requests for proposals, where the first phase of that 10 acres of land is most likely to happen and what that potentially could look like. So on the evening of September 1st, we'll have our second open house for the public, again at the library from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that we can give everybody one more look at where we're at with the RDG proposal for the concept plan. But we're not done after that process, because we know that some people may not be able to attend those open houses. So we're going to reach out to RDG to come up with a process of using online resources that people can comment on the draft plan and provide additional input in the process. Our hope is that by the middle of October, we can come back with a final recommendation that would be presented to the City Council for their approval. And that would be the first phase of a 3-phase process that we're using RDG to develop that concept plan and the phasing. Once that plan has been approved by the City Council, then we'll begin to move to the second and third phases, which will be looking at RFPs and actually helping us put together hopefully a proposal that we can accept and begin construction in early 18. It's important to remember that when we acquired the Railyard, Burlington Northern Santa Fe had up to 3 years to continue to use that 10 acres. Now we're at about the end of the first year. So realistically, once Burlington Northern Santa Fe is ready to move out of the downtown Railyard towards the end of 17, you'll probably see early 2018 that will come in and remove the track, remediate the soil, according to our agreement with Burlington Northern and our environmental assessment. But come spring of 2018, our goal is to have a proposal, at least of a first phase, selected that we can break ground and begin looking at realistic redevelopment opportunities. So to give you a little bit more perspective about how this is going to impact downtown, the community, in terms of redevelopment ideas, I'll turn it over to Darren.
Thanks, Mike. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today. What a great day for Sioux Falls. In the coming weeks, our community will provide ideas, innovations, and dreams to move our Railyard redevelopment to the next step. This is a great opportunity for all those in Sioux Falls to share their vision for how the rail redevelopment will provide yet another anchor in our bustling downtown. Through the vision of our business leaders, government leaders, and citizens, we'll create opportunities in downtown for generations to come. The process to get here has been deliberate and well thought out. This project has not happened on accident. It has taken years of dedication and collaboration from federal and local partners to get us to this point. Without vision and endurance by these leaders, we would not be having this conversation today. While much of the hard work has been done, more lies in front of us. However, if you ask me, I think the fun part is just beginning. The work by our other teams to acquire this land was just phenomenal. And the endurance that team had to actually get that project purchased was one of the greatest accomplishments, I think, in our city's history. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not just for downtown Sioux Falls, but our entire community. When you think of the success of downtown Sioux Falls, you think of things like the River Greenway, the resurgence of Phillips Avenue, the emergence of Uptown, the East Bank, Main Avenue. The Railyard will be yet another jewel in the heart of our city. The redevelopment of the Railyard will be inclusive of the long-term needs and desires of our community. We will work collaboratively with our private partners to develop this property into something our community and families can be proud of. In order for us to make this reality, Sioux Falls, we need your help. We need your ideas. We want your feedback. We value your participation in this process. The people of Sioux Falls have always stepped up to the plate to make our community stronger. I have no doubt we'll once again see our residents step up in a big way to turn the Railyard into a destination for downtown Sioux Falls. Most cities only dream of getting a chance to do what we're embarking on next week. Next week, our citizens and stakeholders, along with our consultant RDG, will begin the first phase of reshaping 10 acres in the heart of our city. The vision and concepts will be inclusive of the feedback we receive from the community. Your continued support and participation is vital to meeting the needs of this thriving city. Your attendance at one of the 2 public input sessions will ensure your thoughts are considered as we develop conceptual plans. If you cannot make it to one of these 2 meetings, give us a call. Stop by our office, send us a letter. As Mike said, we're going to be putting some opportunities out there to provide feedback online. We really need Sioux Falls to step forward and help us shape and identify that vision for the future with these 10 acres. The greatness of our city comes from our citizens and businesses that call it home. Let's make home an even better place to live, work, and play. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. And next, I'd like to turn over the microphone to Mayor Mike Huther for his comments.
Thank you, Darren. Darren, thank you, and Mike, thank you as well. I think that, Darren talked about how big a day this is, but I think that something that is important from a transition standpoint is, kind of that question, hey, where's Josh? Where's Mark? Where's Kendra? Why aren't they speaking here today? In Sioux Falls and to the media, the reason being is that they basically have now handed off the baton to our planning and zoning team, as well as our development team as well. It is a major step in this process. And Darren touched a little bit on, the amount of work and effort that took place over those 10, 11 plus years. But now, yes, maybe that fun really is going to begin. I think that's an important part, is that we have moved on to another leg in this in this marathon. But also, I do want to try to reach out to those dreamers and those investors and those visionaries, because when you're the mayor of this town and you've got a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, you also, hey, Mayor, when are we going to get this one done too? And I know that folks are truly chomping at the bit to get their dream going, or to get that shovel laid in the ground and let's get it going. We are going to make that happen, Sioux Falls, we are. But as I've said before, we want to do this one right versus fast. This is a $35 million investment that was made by the taxpayers of America into our city, and certainly we want to do it right. I know that we've been talking a lot about buildings lately and building stuff. We're not going to have a new building built by the time I'm done being the mayor of this great city. But I do think that you do see that one of the goals is we would like to at least have a shovel in the ground by the time that I'm done in the spring of 2018. Now, for the media, as you're evaluating that map, that 10 acres of land, we can't tell you where that shovel, may actually be, where that may be laid. I can't tell you that, but we are going to do our best to make sure that we do it that we do it right, that we do maximize this 10 acres of land, as well as maximize that $35 million that was invested in this property. We'll be back. We're not done. This is just another step in the journey, but I think it's an important step, and one that we're certainly thankful that you're here covering today.